Yeah, I mean, I think it should be a confidence builder for our team. I think not only as coaches but as players, we know how good Akron is and how good they've been in the past. But I told our guys in the locker room, in reality, it's an exhibition game. The outcome is really meaningless. That game is about the development of our team, being able to get some things on tape from a different opponent to really try to learn from. But other than showing some signs that we have a chance to be a pretty good basketball team, really the outcome of the game for us is meaningless.
You mentioned the exhibition is kind of a development to get ready for the season. A lot of people think the non-conference portion of your schedule is a development phase to get ready for the league. When you start with a team like you're starting with in Pitt, how important is it to kind of gauge yourself against really good competition, especially early in the season?
Yeah, I think you find out where you're at. I think early in our schedule, we're going to find out real quick where we're at with a lot of things. And again, that's what's great about the game yesterday is we get to get some things on tape that we see we need to work on. And certainly in the first half, a lot of defensive breakdowns that we've got to get cleaned up. What was better in the second half against Akron in some of those areas, but the defensive side of the ball needs some work, and we'll go to work the next 3 days to try to get some of those things fixed heading into Monday.
Specifically, just based, obviously you talked about how these kinds of scrimmages and exhibition games can be, learning things for both teams. Both teams can get a lot out of it. They can, maybe try some different things, experiment with different things. Was there anything that you kind of, lineup-wise or kind of rotation-wise you guys kind of worked with last night to try to, figure things out?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest positives that showed through from last night's the depth of our team. I think we got a lot of contributions from a lot of different people. Obviously Tay shot the ball extremely well, but we could go up and down the line. All the guys played, really contributed in one way or another. And I think that's something that's going to show through. Obviously, last night we played without two guys as well. So the depth of our team was kind of showed through, and was certainly a positive from last night.
Were there any specific things that kind of stood out to you after having a chance to kind of look at the film a little bit?
Yeah, I think second half offensively we did some really good stuff. It's always nice when the ball goes into baskets, and certainly made a lot of shots. But execution wise, thought we did some really good things that led to really clean looks. And again, when the ball goes in, it always looks good as the end result.
When you play as many as you did last night, there's as much contribution on the bench in terms of minutes, points, and all that. Is the starting five going to matter much for the team when you have this much depth?
No, I think we've got about 8 or 9 guys that really deserve to start, and that's what's great as a coach is you got a lot of options. And as I told our group last night, we've got to get consumed with each other, got to get consumed with the team, because every night isn't going to be your night individually. But it's always got to be about us and getting consumed with each other and the team. And, we're going to be able to play 10, 11 guys at sometimes. And what that ends up being is, some guys don't get all the minutes they want all the time. But when you've got the depth that we've got, it leads to, having a lot of different options. Got some guys a lot of different places that can put the ball in the basket.
Like I know, obviously, first game of the season, so you might not necessarily have a ton of film to work with on what to expect from Pitt, and obviously, with roster turnover, things they have a different team, but just based on what what you have seen, like what are you kind of looking at from this Pitt team?
Yeah, these early season games, scouting's difficult. We're really basing a lot of the information that we have off of last year. We've got box scores and different things like that we can see who's starting and maybe who's playing a majority of the minutes, but really going back and trying to evaluate, what players did in their program last year that were there, and then really trying to get good personnel information from maybe transfers or freshmen that are on their team for the first time. But when you go back and you look at the tape, what pops is they've got real high major size. Length, athleticism, physicality, those are things that we're going to handle really well to give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Coach, you talked previously about how you thought your offense was ahead of your defense. Did what you see or what you saw last night kind of reflect that, and anything you wanted to adjust heading into Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I mean, certainly offense is ahead of our defense right now. I did think we we made some good adjustments. Our players, I should say, made some good adjustments, and we guarded it much better in the second half. But we've got to be much more connected defensively. We got to play with more physicality, more toughness. Those are things that we're really trying to emphasize with our team. And then the bottom line, it comes down to executing principles. And those were the things that we weren't doing in the first half very well yesterday, that we got cleaned up a little bit in the second half.
What kind of reputation is the program known for having? What are you kind of telling you guys, what to expect going into that environment? Because obviously the Peak is a pretty tough place to play.
Yeah, I mean, just the same things we just talked about: toughness, physicality. They're really, really going to play hard on the defensive end of the floor. Going to pressure us, right? Ball pressure, passing lane pressure. So those things we're going to have to handle well to give ourselves the best chance.
They were really good at home last year.
Yep.
You guys were really good at home. Is there something that you talk to the guys about in terms of like, hey, we've got the road part of this down. We got to be great on the road when teams are good at home.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a little bit different environment than we're used to going in, obviously, with the fan base and, as you said, as good as they've been at home over the last few years. So, we're going to have to handle that environment well. But again, guys, we're on the road the whole month of November, right? So those things are going to be things that not just for the Pitt game, but as we carry into the rest of our early non-conference schedule, we're going to have to be road warriors.
Yeah, how is that frustrating at all when, obviously at the mid-major level, it's tough to schedule teams. You talk about, scheduling difficulties. When you're forced to just kind of, make constellations and play a lot of road games or play MPEs and be on the road a lot for non-conference play.
Yeah. Scheduling is extremely challenging for us, and I think you're hearing some other mid-major coaches speak out about the challenges that we have to get home games. And what's frustrating for us is we have a real fan base. We have people that really care about it here, that want to be here and see us play. And that's what frustrates me is we don't get a chance to really engage our fan base until late December into conference play. And that's it is what it is. We understand that. We're going to continue to try our best to get those home games, but it's proven over and over again to be very challenging for us.
Outside of wanting to play at home in November, has scheduling been better or worse based on the success of this program over the last few years? In years past, these were games you wanted to hang. Now these are games you want to win.
Yeah, I mean, the more success you have, the more challenging scheduling gets, and all these different teams are what they're trying to do when they're scheduling games is build an NCAA tournament resume, right? And the high major teams, it's about scheduling quad 1 and quad 2 games, or scheduling quad 4 games against teams they feel like they can, beat 15, 20, 30 points. That's going to help their metrics as they move forward into NCAA tournament play. You play a Youngstown State and, you win a game by 5 or 10 points, or you don't win the game. That really is detrimental for them in terms of their NCAA tournament resume. So again, as we continue to have success, it's going to continue to get more and more challenging to get the games that we want.
Is there a difference? Obviously scheduling high major and power 4 teams is a little bit different, but scheduling other mid-major programs and other mid-major games, is that also proven to be difficult?
Yeah, the home games are really hard to get, Neil. Yeah, they're really, really hard to get. And again, the other balance to the schedule is obviously teams at our level not just want to get the high major games where they can obviously have some financial purposes to that, but they also want to get winnable games as well. And for us, again, it's just proven to be very challenging to find the games where we can get the home court advantage.